The day everything collapsed was the day I decided I was too busy for God, and I remember it clearly because nothing seemed wrong at first. The sun came up like it always did, my phone buzzed with notifications, and my calendar was full. I told myself I would pray later, read the Bible at night, catch up on faith when life slowed down. That small decision felt harmless, almost reasonable. I didn't know it was the first quiet step away from the only foundation that had ever truly held me. For years, my mornings had started the same way. Before checking messages or planning the day, I opened my Bible. Some days I understood every word, other days I didn't, but it grounded me. It reminded me that my life wasn't just about deadlines, money, or proving my worth. But slowly, without noticing, I replaced that time with scrolling, rushing, and worrying. I trusted my own strength more than God's guidance. I still believed in Him, but belief without priority is fragile. Life began to speed up. My work improved, people praised my dedication, and opportunities came quickly. From the outside, I looked successful. Inside, I felt constantly tired, irritable, and strangely empty. I started measuring my value by results instead of purpose. When something went wrong, I panicked instead of praying. When decisions became heavy, I leaned on my own understanding instead of God's wisdom. I didn't stop believing in the Lord, I just stopped putting Him first, and that made all the difference. The collapse didn't happen in one dramatic moment. It happened in layers. A relationship I neglected began to crack. My patience grew thin. Sleep became restless. Anxiety followed me everywhere, even into moments that were supposed to bring joy. I smiled in public but felt hollow in private. I kept telling myself I just needed to push harder, work more, think smarter. I thought control would save me. It didn't. Then came the night everything finally broke. A single mistake at work cost me something I had spent years building. The phone call was short, polite, and devastating. When it ended, the silence in the room felt heavier than the loss itself. For the first time in a long while, I didn't know what to do next. All my plans, confidence, and effort had failed me. I sat there, surrounded by the things I once thought mattered, and realized none of them could give me peace. That night, unable to sleep, I searched through a drawer and found my Bible. It was worn, its pages slightly bent, a thin layer of dust covering the cover. I held it for a long moment before opening it, feeling both comforted and ashamed. Comforted because it felt familiar, ashamed because I knew how long it had been ignored. I didn't open it with a plan or a goal. I just opened it. My eyes landed on a verse that spoke about trusting the Lord with all your heart and not leaning on your own understanding. It felt as if the words were alive, cutting through the noise in my mind. Tears came without warning. In that moment, I understood something painfully clear: God had never moved away from me. I had moved away from Him. I had put success before Scripture, plans before prayer, and control before faith. I prayed that night, not with perfect words, but with honesty. I admitted my fear, my pride, my exhaustion. I asked for forgiveness, not because God demanded it, but because I needed to let go of the weight I had been carrying alone. There was no thunder, no sudden miracle. But there was peace. A quiet, steady peace I hadn't felt in a long time. The next morning, everything didn't magically improve, but one thing changed. Before touching my phone, before replaying yesterday's failure in my mind, I opened the Bible again. I read slowly. I prayed simply. I didn't ask for success or quick fixes. I asked for guidance. That morning became a habit, and that habit became an anchor. As days passed, I noticed changes. My problems didn't disappear, but they no longer controlled me. Decisions became clearer, not because life was easier, but because I wasn't facing it alone. When fear showed up, Scripture reminded me I was not abandoned. When patience ran thin, prayer softened my heart. I began to understand that putting the Lord and the Bible first wasn't about religion or routine, it was about alignment. I realized that when God comes first, everything else finds its proper place. Work becomes service instead of pressure. Relationships become deeper instead of transactional. Success becomes meaningful instead of empty. Even failure loses its power, because it no longer defines you. Looking back, I'm grateful for the collapse. It revealed what I had quietly replaced God with. It taught me that faith cannot survive on leftovers. The Lord doesn't ask to be part of your life, He asks to lead it. The Bible isn't just a book for hard times, it's a compass for everyday living. Now, no matter how busy life gets, I protect that first moment of the day. Before the noise, before the demands, before the world gets a say, I give my attention to God. Because I've learned the hard way that when the Lord and the Bible come first, life may still shake you, but it will never break you.